When people begin to lose their independence, where does it usually start? Not in the heart, not in the brain. It starts in the legs. The legs weaken first. The legs give way first. And when the legs go, life becomes smaller. Movements become cautious. Confidence fades. Fear creeps in. I've seen it again and again. Strong men and women who once walked proudly, worked hard, climbed stairs without a thought, suddenly finding themselves gripping railings, avoiding outings, afraid of falling. And many people accept this as just aging. But I want you to hear this very clearly today. Weak legs are not an inevitable part of getting older. Your legs are the foundation of your body. They carry you through life. They pump blood back to the heart. They support your spine. They allow you to stand tall, walk freely, and live independently. When your legs weaken, your whole body suffers. But when your legs are strong, your whole body benefits. Now here is the part most people don't realize. Your legs don't weaken first because of age alone. They weaken because the body has been quietly undernourished, underused, and overloaded with the wrong foods for many years. Muscles shrink when they are not fed properly. Bones thin when they are not supported. Nerves slow when they are deprived of the nutrients they need. The good news is this: the body is designed to heal. Given the right conditions, it responds quickly. And some of the fastest improvements people notice when they begin nourishing their body properly happen in the legs. Strength returns, balance improves, pain reduces, confidence grows. Today I want to share something very practical with you. Not complicated, not expensive, not extreme. Just 3 simple foods that nature has provided. Foods that strengthen muscles, support bones, improve circulation, and nourish the nerves that control your legs. These are not miracle cures. They are building blocks. And when you use them consistently, the results can be remarkable. If you have leg weakness, knee pain, heavy legs, poor balance, cramps, or fear of falling, this message is for you. If you want to stay mobile, active, and independent for as long as possible, this message is for you. And if you care for aging parents or grandparents, listen carefully, because what you learn today could change their future. Your legs are speaking to you. Fatigue, pain, stiffness, and weakness are signals, not punishments. And when you respond with wisdom instead of fear, the body begins to repair. Let's talk about why this matters so deeply and how you can start strengthening your legs starting today. Strong legs are not about vanity. They are about survival, dignity, and quality of life. The ability to stand up from a chair, walk to the bathroom, go outside, or climb a few steps determines whether a person lives freely or becomes dependent on others. When leg strength declines, the risk of falls increases dramatically. And falls are not minor events. A single fall can lead to fractures, hospital stays, loss of confidence, and long-term disability. Many people never fully recover, not because the body cannot heal, but because fear stops movement and weakness deepens. But there is another side to this story. The muscles in your legs are some of the largest muscles in your body. When they are strong and active, they help regulate blood sugar, support healthy circulation, and reduce inflammation. They even help protect the heart. Weak legs often go hand in hand with poor circulation, diabetes, osteoporosis, and chronic fatigue. Nutrition plays a powerful role here. Muscles need minerals to contract. Bones need minerals to stay dense. Nerves need healthy fats and vitamins to transmit signals. When the diet is dominated by processed foods, sugar, refined flour, and seed oils, the legs are slowly starved of what they need. Nature, however, has provided foods that nourish deeply, foods that rebuild tissue rather than inflame it, foods that the body recognizes and knows how to use. And when these foods are combined with gentle movement and consistency, the change can be surprisingly fast. This is not about doing more, it's about doing things differently, feeding the body what it actually needs, respecting its design, trusting its capacity to heal. Many people don't realize there is a problem until it has already taken hold. Leg weakness rarely arrives suddenly. It creeps in quietly, almost politely, asking for very little attention at first. You may notice that getting up from a chair takes a little more effort. Stairs feel heavier than they used to. Balance isn't quite as steady. These are not random events, and they are not simply old age. They are signs that the body has been slowly deprived of what it needs to maintain strength. Muscles are living tissue. They are designed to grow, repair, and stay strong. When they are properly nourished and used, when the diet lacks quality protein, minerals, and natural fats, the body has no choice but to sacrifice muscle to survive. The legs, being the largest muscles in the body, are often the first place this loss becomes obvious. The body is economical. It lets go of what it believes you are not using or feeding. Bones play a quiet role in this problem as well. Weak legs are often blamed on muscles alone, but bones that lack minerals cannot provide a stable framework. When calcium, magnesium, and trace minerals are missing, bones become less dense, joints become unstable, and movement becomes uncomfortable. Pain then discourages movement, and the cycle deepens. Less movement leads to more weakness, and more weakness leads to even less movement. Then there are the nerves. Every step you take depends on clear communication between the brain and the muscles. This communication requires healthy fats and B vitamins. When nerves are undernourished, signals slow down. The legs may feel heavy, numb, shaky, or unresponsive. People describe it as "my legs don't listen to me anymore." But the truth is, the legs are listening. The message just isn't getting through properly. What we must understand is this: the body never breaks down without a reason. Leg weakness is not betrayal. It is feedback. It is the body saying, "I am missing something." When you identify the problem clearly, not as aging, not as bad luck, but as unmet needs, you take away fear and replace it with hope, because what is caused by lack can be restored by supply. When the legs weaken, life begins to shrink in ways many people never expect. It is not just about sore knees or tired muscles. It is about confidence. It is about freedom. Strong legs allow you to move without thinking, to step forward without fear. When that strength fades, every movement becomes a decision, and often a cautious one. People begin to avoid stairs, uneven ground, long walks, and eventually even social activities, simply because moving feels unsafe. This gradual withdrawal has serious consequences. When the legs are not used, muscles waste away more quickly. Blood circulation slows, especially in the lower body, leading to cold feet, swelling, and aching calves. Poor circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach the tissues, which further weakens muscles and delays repair. Over time, this can contribute to varicose veins, nerve pain, and a constant feeling of heaviness in the legs. The long-term effects reach far beyond the legs themselves. Weak legs often lead to poor posture as the body compensates for instability. This places strain on the hips, spine, and lower back, creating chronic pain that seems unrelated but is deeply connected. Balance becomes unreliable and the risk of falls increases sharply. A fall can change a person's life in a moment, not only through injury but through fear. Once fear takes hold, movement decreases even more and strength declines at a faster rate. There is also a metabolic cost. The large muscles of the legs help regulate blood sugar by using glucose efficiently. When these muscles weaken, blood sugar control often worsens, contributing to fatigue, weight gain, and insulin resistance. The heart must work harder to move blood through an inactive lower body, increasing cardiovascular strain over time. Perhaps the most overlooked impact is emotional. Loss of mobility can lead to frustration, sadness, and a sense of dependence. People may feel older than they are, limited or burdensome, but this decline is not inevitable. It is the result of neglect, not destiny. When leg strength is restored, people often report not just physical improvement, but renewed confidence, better mood, and a sense of hope. Strong legs support a strong future, and restoring them restores far more than movement alone. Nature always provides simple answers. And when it comes to strengthening the legs, the solutions are not found in a laboratory, but in the kitchen. The body does not need complicated formulas. It needs real food that supplies the raw materials for repair. When we return to these basics, the body responds with surprising speed and gratitude. One of the most important supports for leg strength comes from leafy green vegetables. These greens are rich in magnesium, a mineral essential for muscle contraction and relaxation. Without enough magnesium, muscles fatigue quickly, cramp easily, and struggle to recover. Greens also provide natural calcium, which works in harmony with magnesium to strengthen bones rather than harden tissues. When people increase their intake of fresh greens, they often notice less stiffness, better balance, and a lighter feeling in the legs within weeks. Another powerful yet often forgotten food is bone broth or slow-cooked meat on the bone. This traditional food supplies collagen, gelatin, and a wide range of minerals that modern diets often lack. Collagen supports the joints, tendons, and ligaments that hold the legs together. When these connective tissues are weak, muscles cannot work efficiently, and pain discourages movement. Bone broth gently rebuilds this foundation, making movement smoother and more confident. It is especially valuable for those with knee pain, hip discomfort, or a history of joint problems. The third natural support comes from nuts and seeds, particularly almonds and sesame seeds. These small foods are dense in nutrients that nourish both muscles and nerves. They provide magnesium, zinc, healthy fats, and plant protein that help repair muscle tissue and support nerve signaling. When nerves are well fed, the legs respond more quickly and feel more stable. This can make a noticeable difference in balance and coordination. These foods do not work as isolated remedies. They work together, supplying minerals, protein, and healthy fats in their natural form. When they are eaten consistently, the body stops borrowing from its own tissues and begins rebuilding instead. This is how strength returns, not through force, but through nourishment that honors the body's design. Healing becomes real when it moves from theory into daily practice. The body responds best to small, steady actions, not dramatic changes that are difficult to maintain. Strengthening the legs does not require special equipment or complicated routines. It begins with simple choices that can be made today right where you are. Start with what you eat. Add leafy greens to at least one meal each day. They can be lightly steamed, added to soups, blended into sauces, or eaten fresh. The body recognizes these minerals when they come from whole plants and uses them efficiently. Alongside this, introduce bone broth or slow-cooked meat on the bone several times a week. A warm cup of broth in the morning or evening not only nourishes muscles and joints, but also supports digestion, which is essential for nutrient absorption. Nuts and seeds are best used with intention. Soaking them overnight reduces compounds that interfere with mineral absorption and makes them gentler on the digestive system. A small handful is enough. More is not better. The goal is nourishment, not overload. Replace processed snacks with these simple foods and notice how energy becomes more stable. Movement is the partner of nutrition. Even the best food cannot strengthen muscles that are never used. Gentle, regular movement tells the body that these tissues are needed. Walking daily, even for short periods, encourages circulation and muscle engagement. Standing up from a chair without using your hands, holding onto a bench for support if needed, is a powerful exercise that mimics real-life movement. These simple actions rebuild strength where it matters most. Pay attention to posture and breathing. Standing tall allows the legs to carry weight evenly. Deep, calm breathing improves oxygen delivery to the muscles, helping them recover and grow. Avoid pushing through pain. Discomfort is information, not a challenge to be conquered. Perhaps the most practical tip of all is consistency. The body thrives on rhythm. Doing a little every day is far more effective than doing a lot occasionally. When nourishment and movement become habits rather than efforts, the legs begin to respond. Strength returns quietly, confidence follows, and movement becomes natural again. The body is always listening to what you do repeatedly. It does not respond to good intentions or occasional effort. It responds to habit. This is why lasting strength in the legs is built through consistency, not intensity. When the body receives steady nourishment and gentle movement day after day, it begins to trust that these tissues are needed, and it invests in them. Again, healthy habits create a message of safety within the body. Regular meals made from whole foods tell the body there will be no shortage. Daily movement tells it that strength is required. Adequate rest tells it that repair is allowed. When these messages are clear and repeated, the body shifts from survival mode into rebuilding mode. Muscles become more responsive. Joints move more freely. Balance improves without conscious effort. Many people become discouraged because they expect quick dramatic changes, but true healing is often subtle at first. You may notice that your legs feel warmer, lighter, or more stable. You may find yourself standing a little taller or walking a little farther without thinking about it. These are signs of progress, or acknowledge them. The body thrives on encouragement. It is also important to let go of the belief that decline is inevitable. This belief alone can sabotage healing. The body is remarkably adaptable even later in life. When you provide it with what it needs, it responds at any age. Strength may not return exactly as it was in youth, but it can return enough to support independence, confidence, and joy in movement. Consistency also means patience with setbacks. Some days will feel easier than others. This does not mean the process is failing. Healing is not linear. Trust the direction, not the day. Continue feeding your body well. Continue moving gently. Continue choosing habits that support life rather than drain it. The most powerful motivation comes from remembering why you started. Strong legs mean freedom. They mean the ability to care for yourself, to move through the world with confidence, and to participate fully in life. Every small, consistent choice you make is an investment in that freedom. And over time, those small choices add up to a body that feels supported, capable, and strong. Once again,